Hello, this is Ama Panama Realty. Jana is my name, and I wanted to respond to some very important questions today that people ask us really often. I will be looking at my screen sometimes to just make sure I don't forget any relevant information. I don't care if it doesn't look that professional. I could make some AI tool make the video, but I just want to keep it real so you see a real person talking to you. I think that is really important. So let's get started. People ask themselves a few very important questions when they're looking to buy property here in Panama. They ask questions like, do you think I'm paying a fair price? Is the title clean? Are there any liens on this property? What does it mean that the property is titled or not titled? Who's actually on my side here? Who's going to protect my interests as a buyer? What lawyer can I use to do the contract for me? Do you recommend anybody specifically? So these are all very fair questions, and this is actually exactly what we help you, let's say, clarify and relax with. We don't want you to feel anxious or worried that something is going to go wrong because you've not been informed well. So we love spending time with you on a Zoom call or even meeting you in person so we can answer all these questions. And when the time comes, you're not anxious or worried all the time thinking that, something might be wrong or not working the way it's supposed to. We connect you with a team of professionals who are specialized in buying and selling property. They know what the contracts should look like. They do them bilingual if that is necessary because you don't speak the language of the country. And we make sure the process is as smooth as possible for you. So moving to another country or buying a second residency in another country can be stressful enough already. So everything we can help you let's say make easier, we will make it easier for you. That's why it's good that we can cover also different languages. If you speak German, that's also fine. If you speak French, I'm going to do my best, but I can help you too. It's very important to be able to understand things and hear things in your own language. So what we want you to do or to be able to do is to understand the different areas of Panama so you can make an informed decision when you choose to buy a property in a specific area. We want you to know what each area feels like, because if you come to Azuero, for example, the Pedasí area is a totally different game than Venao and Cañas, for example. Even Cañas is different from Venao, but they're super close by. And Pedasí is a whole different place, and you need to know why. And to discover that, that's why we love taking people to these places before they even buy anything or look at any real estate, so they get a feel for each area. We want you to be able to compare options in your price range without any pressure. That's very important. We also want you to connect with builders, with architects, for example. If what you want after taking a look at stuff, you decide that you want to build your own home. And I know it is scary for many people to think about building here, but actually if you have the right team around you and you follow a certain process, it is very doable. And recently, for example, we had a lady from the States who was traveling to get to know Panama better. We spent a lot of time with her, a whole week, so she could know different areas. We looked at many properties with her. And in the end, she saw a property and she said, my God, this is exactly what I want. Who is this architect? Who designed this house? This is what I want. I want this house in a very specific place with this view. So that's what we did. We said, no problem. We can find you a lot in this same area with a very similar view, maybe even almost the same view. And we know exactly who the architect is. We know who can manage this project for you and with you, even if you're not here. And we know how long it's going to take. So she was really excited and she said, well, it's great to know that this is possible. And many people just don't know. They maybe look at a real estate website and they look at a few properties. They want the realtor to show them only that. but then they don't really know, is that for me? Will I enjoy living here? Is this really what I think it is? Can I trust what people are telling me? And you really should make your own experience, and we help you do that by really not pressuring you and giving you information as much as we possibly can. And whether you decide to buy a house that is newly built or a house that already had an owner and they're maybe selling for some reason, that's also something people ask me a lot. Why are these people selling? Well, maybe they want to go back to their country for a few years because they have to take care of family members, or some people decide to sell because they have a really good offer job-wise, business-wise, so they want to leave for a few years. And instead of having us manage the property and rent it maybe and make it an income while they're not there, they just decide for now it's better for them to sell. Or they maybe invested in that property years ago and now they just choose another place, or they decide to travel for a couple of years. So there is many reasons why people might be selling, but it's not necessarily always a bad sign or a reason to mistrust or to think the property isn't good. There is great properties that are resales, second-hand homes that I call them, and they're not necessarily worse than other homes. And I can maybe tell you in more detail why that is, that sometimes it's even a better option. But there are very different options, for example, in Pedasí alone or in Casco Viejo, if the old part of Panama City maybe is what you prefer. We're also active there. What we want you to do is to really know what area is best for you and what options there are for you right now. And yeah, to be able to help you, I only need you to contact us. You can shoot me a text on WhatsApp. Everything is in the description. You can send us an email telling us who you are, where you live, what you're looking for, what your lifestyle, preferred lifestyle would be, what is non-negotiable for you, if there are things where you would be flexible. And we can then start helping you to look for a property, or we can schedule with you for a Zoom call to discuss. And if you're already planning a trip to Panama, we can of course help you know the area. I hope this is helpful. Please ask all the questions in the comment section and I'll respond to each one of them. Thank you so much. Give us a like and subscribe if you want to have more contact like this for you.